One beautiful evening in an African village, a wise woman gathers children around her. Seated in front of them, she smiles warmly, ready to share the captivating tale of the greedy tortoise and the clever birds, a story full of lessons. In an African village where the air buzzed with excitement as the birds prepared for their grand feast, the sky was filled with vibrant feathers and joyful chirps. But amidst all the celebration, one creature felt left out. The tortoise. He longed to be part of the festivities and decided to come up with a cunning plan to join the feast. With his sharp mind and a hint of mischief, the tortoise hatched a plan. He approached the birds and boasted, "I am a master singer. Let me perform at your feast." The birds, intrigued by the tortoise's confidence, welcomed him into their midst, eager to hear his renowned singing. As the day of the feast arrived, the birds prepared for their special guest. They arranged a grand procession to carry the tortoise to the venue. The tortoise was delighted as he was carried high above the trees, marveling at the lush landscapes below. Upon arrival, the tortoise was awestruck by the lavish feast. The table was laden with colorful fruits, exotic dishes, and beautifully arranged flowers. The birds greeted him warmly, and the tortoise eagerly prepared to showcase his singing talents. The tortoise began his performance, but instead of a melodious tune, he produced a series of loud, discordant noises. The birds were initially taken aback, but as the performance continued, they grew increasingly uncomfortable. The tortoise's singing was more of a racket than a song. The birds, who had hoped for an enchanting performance, became irritated. They exchanged uneasy glances and began to murmur among themselves. Realizing the tortoise's trickery, they decided to take action. It was time for a lesson in honesty. As the performance dragged on, the birds started to leave the feast. The tortoise noticed the dwindling crowd and felt a pang of realization. His trickery had led him to isolation, and the grandeur of the feast seemed to fade away. With the birds gone and the feast over, the tortoise sat alone and pondered his actions. He realized that his deceitful plan had only led to his own embarrassment. The wise birds had shown him that honesty and respect were far better than cunning and deceit. As the tortoise made his way back to the village, he vowed to use his cleverness for good rather than trickery. He understood that true respect comes from being honest and sincere. And so he walked home with a newfound wisdom, ready to embrace honesty in his future endeavors. The tale of the tortoise and the bird spread far and wide, becoming a timeless story of wisdom.